So right now I'm just looking for a kind of essentially a high mileage E46 M3 in decent-ish condition for about, you know, like the average like range I see for the M3 E46, including both good condition and bad condition ones, or high mileage ones and low mileage ones, is and we're only talking about 6-speed manuals here. That person's parked in the road, and you're not even driving a big car, so good job. The range is about like $8,000 to $24,000. Once you start getting super expensive, it just seems kind of silly. But there are some like $30,000, $40,000 M3 E46s out there with like less than 5,000 miles on them, which is doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Like, I put a lot of miles on this car ever since I bought it. I don't even know how much I've put on it. Probably nearly 10,000 is my guess, or maybe not. I don't know. I remember the speedometer being in the 20,000s when I first got it, and now we're at 35. We'll go back to my first vlog ever, and we can do a comparison, because I remember there was a shot of the speedometer and like the dash and stuff in there, so we can look at the mileage on the day we bought it compared to what it is right now. Do not cross the road like how they did. He almost got hit. That would have been interesting to catch on camera. I would have had some sympathy because he wasn't paying attention, but at the same time, that's a Honda S2000. Oh, shit. With a big wang on it. Oh, I can hear it. It actually sounds kind of nice. I'm not used to, so I was in Illinois for like 6 months, and I was driving around in areas where there were not crosswalks. So it's weird also watching the cars and the pedestrians at the same time. I'm capable of doing it, so I don't start to get scared that I'm like driving here and I'm not used to it. But like at the same time, it's funny because I did used to live here before, and obviously at one point I was blinded. I was used to the pedestrians being here, but because I've been gone for so long, it's just, I just need to reacclimate myself again. This is very, very bright. I think it's even making the traffic go slower. Hey guys, want to get blinded? Actually, it's not that bad because it's behind the freaking road sign, or the stoplight rather. Very recently, I went in for an interview, a very short interview. I've noticed that all the interviews I've gone to are very short. I don't know why, as a kid, I always thought interviews were these very long and intense things. But in reality, all the interviews I've had are like 4 or 5 minutes long, and usually they're all pretty kind of positive and friendly. Oh, I'm being blinded. That was exciting. That kind of gave me Need for Speed the Run vibes. Hey, look, an E46. It's not an M3, but I like all E46s. That's a 325 CI. Yeah, that's a 325. Car Throttle did I think it was Car Throttle, did a video on that, and how if you're younger and you're wanting to get an E46, the 325 CI is a very good alternative, because obviously the E46 M3 is much more expensive. But yeah, so as I was going to try and say is, I recently went in for a job interview at Panda Express, which is really funny because that's a food chain, a Chinese food chain, American Chinese food chain, that I've like grown up with for like most of my life. I'm going for it. So, well, even the person behind me went for it. So many people turned left after that went red. I just barely made it okay. Everyone else was like long after me. Dang. But, oh good, now they're closing the lanes again. But yeah, I had the interview. It went very well. As I said, it was very short. I just went in, said hi, I'm here for an interview. Due to a communication over the phone, he texted me and he said, "Hi, this is blank. because he accidentally didn't write his name out or whatever. You know, texting is awkward. So I just kind of didn't say anything because I thought it might lead to a much more lighthearted conversation, and it did. It was nice. It was friendly. He was cool. The manager of the restaurant is actually a student, which is insane because I kept getting emails about, hey, take up this managerial position, and I go, no. With school going on and everything else, I don't think I'd be able to keep track of that crap. But I will, hopefully, if I get the job, I will be part of the kitchen team, which means I'll be cooking, doing dishes, and all sorts of stuff, and generally skills that I should learn anyways. So not nervous, just excited, and I'm looking forward to getting paid again because it's been a while since I left my last job, and quite frankly, I don't want to get used to not working. I want to get used to working and getting paid and all that sort of stuff. I mean, who doesn't want to be used to being paid money? So I'm sure we all know what's going to happen here. We're at an intersection. There's going to be no cars in my way. All right, here we go. Ford Fusion, something like that. Snap, crackle, pop. I love the exhaust in my car. Oop. Yeah, it's hard to see the stoplight, man. I don't blame you. Yeah, it is a Ford Fusion. The Ford Fusion slammed on his brakes because he was like, oh, the lights are red. I don't blame you, man. Because look at how could you even see that? I don't blame you, man. That's not even that couldn't even have been a result of not paying attention. I could have been like, I'm trying to look at this at the stoplights, but I'm going blind. Who would drive at this time of the day on purpose? Well, me, actually. Yeah, I can't see the stoplight either. That's green, though. Jeez, that's actually kind of dangerous. I make light of what just happened, but damn. Okay, yeah, these are definitely green. And God knows how much you guys can actually see. So, people are still telling me like a lot of different things. Like, so some people have a problem with me spending the extra cash to get a second car. You know, with the financial position I'm in, having a second car doesn't really make sense. But I keep telling them, you know, I'm not going to register it, I'm not going to insure it, because most of the time it's going to be like under the knife anyways. It's going to be taken apart, it's going to be being rebuilt, and all sorts of other different things. It's a little hard to explain that to ordinary people, and even to some car people, because a lot of people are like, why not just, the heck? Oh, I thought there was like an animal on the back of that car, but it was like caution tape or something flapping around in the wind. But a lot of people are like, why not just modify the Subaru WRX? I'm like, well, believe me, I want to, but at the same time, as you know, the money is an issue. So like, I do have the money to modify the car, like put an intake, exhaust, and other things like that on it to make it a little faster and make it sound nicer, and maybe I could decat it and tune it to make it so that it shoots fire out the back. But at the same time, I'd rather do that with my race car. And if I spend a bunch of money on the Subaru, before I have the race car, like before I get the M3 E46, I'll take even longer to have the M3 E46, and I want to get that as soon as possible because I have a goal in life to get it when I'm 21. And I want to get my dream like car, in other words, dream chassis. I want to buy my dream like chassis for a build when I'm 21. That's like a life goal. Once I have that, I'll probably be a little bit less frugal. Maybe, we'll see. Because all of the parts for the BMW are going to be much more expensive than the Subaru. But you know, I want to save up. But at the same time, you know, a lot of my viewers are also like, I want, like, please modify the Subaru, do this and do that. And I'm like, guys, for one thing, as I talked about in probably the last episode of Motor Madness at this point, is I'm not monetized. I don't make money off of these videos. And as I've been talking about, I don't have a job yet. And even so, the Panda Express isn't going to be able to pay for both the mods on this car and also give me a chance to save up for the BMW. If I just work it, I already did the calculation, if I worked at Panda Express and I saved up the money from that, and didn't spend it on anything else, I would have enough money for the E46, but not if I modify the WRX. But you guys still want to see the modded WRX, and I get that. It's an awesome platform to modify. There are lots of cool parts, and it's very hard for me to resist the urge to buy parts for it. So, as a kind of a community thing, even though the channel isn't that big, I've already put like a thing where you can go to put in whatever amounts of money you want to fund the building of the car if you want to. I'm not asking you to. I'm just saying, like, if you really want to see the car be built into something more interesting and you want to support my channel in that way specifically and just make an interesting car, like, this is the star of the Motor Madness videos. So if you want the car that I'm going to be making a lot of the Motor Madness videos in right now be nicer, then sure, why not? I'm not asking for money. I'm not like begging. I'm not doing this and that. It's more a result of people saying, well, it doesn't make sense that you're saving up money for the E46 M3. You should modify the WRX instead and just have the one car. And so I'm like, well, that's not what I want to do, but you're one of my viewers. So if you really want me to do it and you want to pitch in a little bit or a lot or whatever you want, then I will do it. But like, as I said, I don't make money off of this. So really, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense for me to pitch in my own money for it already, since I already did, since on my end, I've already bought the car and all that sort of stuff anyways. And we also have to remember that I'm a student, so my hours aren't as good as they could be. But yeah. And I've talked about all the projects I want to do before, you know, like I do want to build this car eventually, but it will be the last priority. It will be like one of the last things I do. The first and foremost project I want to do is the M3 E46, you know, like a custom carbon fiber wide body kit based on the M3 GT2 by PTG. They were like an old BMW racing team, an old official one until they left because BMW was driving them nuts. And then there's the Nissan Skyline GTR M-Spec NUR. And, you know, I definitely want to do that, and I want to build that and make that crazy. And I want it to be in the US because, you know, all that sort of stuff. And it's my favorite import car of all time. No offense to the WRX, but getting a Skyline as a first car would have been ridiculous, even if it had been possible.